Welcome. In today's short tutorial, we're going to review the USDA mortgage property eligibility map, and we're going to go through some tips on how buyers can navigate the property eligibility map to check to see if an address is eligible for the USDA Rural Housing Program. USDA loans are a little bit unique when compared to other conventional mortgages or maybe FHA mortgages, where not only do they have qualifying requirements that need to be met, like with any loan, you have to have certain credit scores and criteria that has to be met when it comes to qualifying. USDA is different, that it also has, in addition to that, there are two key components for eligibility. The first is going to be the income for the household. The income can only be a certain limit depending on the location of the property, the county, and the size of the household, among other variables. So that's the first thing, is that there's income limits for the household. The second thing is that the property has to physically be located in a USDA rural eligible area. And this map will show you very quickly if the property is eligible for that. We want to note, though, that USDA, we get a lot of questions as far as the properties in what is eligible, if it has to be a certain designation, meaning a certain seller has to sell the property. None of that matters. It doesn't matter who's selling the home, what real estate company or whoever is listing the home, or if the home is being sold by an owner. Those things aren't important. It's really, again, where the house is located. And the house also will have to meet general HUD standards as far as being in just overall good repair, as far as the condition. And that applies really with any government home loan, like an FHA loan or a VA loan. It's all relatively the same in that regard. So again, the household income and the location of the property. And those are the two key components with eligibility. So let's just look at a quick example here. First, you'll just want to go to your search engine and just maybe type in USDA eligibility map. And it'll come up here with the USDA.gov address, and you can click on that, and it'll take you over to the property eligibility section here, and it'll have a quick disclaimer, and just hit accept on that. And then from there, it pulls up the map. In this map, if we zoom in and go right here, you can type in an address, search the address, and it'll tell you if it is or is not eligible. And then also on this map, you can zoom in and see the darker shaded areas as a whole and get an idea of your area. So if you're the property is not eligible, you can zoom in or out and kind of get an idea of how far away you are from the eligible areas. Okay, so let's just use an example here. I'll just put in a random address. We'll say 123 Oak Street, okay, and see what it comes up with. Okay, so this is an actual address. It's pulling an address here in Missouri, and you can see here it says this address is not located in an eligible area. But again, if we zoom in and out, you can kind of get an idea of how far away it is from the eligible areas. USDA, now when people hear rural housing, rural development, they assume that really it's all properties that are way out in the country, but that's not always the case. There are many suburban locations that are really just minutes outside of major cities that can still be approved. So again, it's always a good idea to just plug in the address. And another tip we want to give you is when you're inputting an address, really just use the street number, the street name, followed by the zip code. Less sometimes is better when it comes to using the map. But just those three things, the street number, the street name, and the zip code, and leave out the city name and state, and it'll likely pull it up and find it okay. But sometimes there can be problems with it if it abbreviates certain, names of certain cities or things like that. So it just makes it easier to do it that way. But again, it'll tell you if it's eligible, ineligible, or if it cannot find the address, and it'll show you that as well. So that's just a few quick tips. Um, Again, you can just kind of work around the map and see, your particular area. And this is again, USDA is a wonderful program, especially for first-time home buyers that may have limited funds for a down payment, because USDA is one of the only programs that is left today that is 100% financing. Um, there's also many advantages. Maybe you meet the income limits. The property you're looking at may be a USDA eligible address, and let's say you're already qualified, pre-approved for an FHA loan. You may want to look at a USDA loan if you meet those other eligibility factors, just because there are certain advantages over like an FHA loan, which is probably the loan that is most closely related to USDA. But USDA, FHA, they do require a monthly mortgage insurance premium, and with USDA loans, it is significantly less than FHA. So again, if you're in a more outlying, more rural location, and if you're already approved for an FHA loan, certainly take a minute and just check your eligibility there with USDA. Also, if you're someone that's located in a very populated area, and here we'll zoom in like in St. Louis for an example here, you're going, the entire area is ineligible for USDA. Certainly reach out to us as well, because there are many other down payment assistance programs that are available that can be used together with an FHA loan that can often provide 100% financing. Depending on a lot of those programs, though, like USDA, are depending on household income for eligibility. But there are, right now, there's probably more down payment assistance programs available than I've ever seen. So, there's a lot out there that's available. So, for people that are, again, in these, main core city centers, it's always a good idea to check. But that's just a couple of tips. And again, if you're a home buyer that has questions about USDA or any of the other down payment assistance programs, visit us at USDAmortgagesource.com or call us 7 days a week at 800-743-7556. Thank you.